Hello, Warpugs. It's time for a Warrior Tier video. And let it be known, your boy has the drip. Anyhow, guys, special thanks to Warrior Tier for sending me this t-shirt. I really do appreciate it. It is their unisex t-shirt. This thing is comfortable, I gotta say. Okay, this thing is gonna become what I wear anytime I try to do a Warrior Tier. Anytime I try to do anything Warrior Tier, I'm gonna be wearing this. Special thanks to you guys for that. Thank you, Warrior Tier, for this. This is pretty awesome. Yeah, it's a thing, guys. It's a thing. So this is just a symbol on a black t-shirt. You can select a lot of colors for this. I'm gonna message them, see if their store is open. I'm putting links in the description down below. So get yourself a Warrior Tier t-shirt. Feels great, looks good. Okay, looks outstanding. And plus, it doesn't have some weird slogan that you have to sit there and explain. It pretty much is just what it is. So check the description down below. I might have their link down below if they haven't opened it yet. If they haven't, well, check out my links for my own merch. Guys, today we're going to be checking out the Dark Eldar story, the Lament. So, and without anything else being said, let's jump into it. Let's have a little bit of a good time. Eventually, I'm going to figure out how to take this thing wireless, and I won't have any wires anymore. And it's so weird because I have the noise cancellation of this thing is so great. I hear the peanuts when I talk. It's like, wah, 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 wah. I'm an idiot. Here we go.
Long before the plague of man
Oh, I love the voice
washed
already.
over the galactic arena, my family plowed the violet tides of the imminent gulfs of space. Ours was the way of the enslaver. We followed the creed of the butcher, the breaker, the ever-present conqueror. Our fleets were the legend. Our shadows cast tread into the hearts of those worlds over which we passed.
Yeah.
We poured 1 billion souls into the pit of our blessed mother, Gamora. That once alone sacred world of power, controlled now by degenerates.
I'm sorry, you're the Dark Eldar. Degeneracy is like part of the thing?
Fools and fraudsters. They too will come to know me well, though they wish they hadn't.
Guys, flat out, every Dark Eldar thinks that one day they will run Kamara.
Indulge me. Let me tell you of my namesake's best conquest.
Go for it. It's probably just completely screwed up. Love the sound design again.
There was an Imperial world once. Its name is, for the sake of this tale, irrelevant.
Lovely.
In the towers of the library, Sector 7. The being that had once been known as Dahan Terran clicked along on its daily route, completing its ever-present daily task. No one in the library knew that a series of codes had been laced into the cognition unit that had replaced 9/10 of the Dahan's brain.
Lovely.
Codes placed by my 10 times great-grandfather to allow him to track the movements of all inside the library. You may ask yourself, why? Why?
When it comes to the Dark Eldar, I don't ask why. I just... The end result is it's going to be screwed up.
Why would he need to track 1,000 humans? Well, it's not because they were interesting, but because of something contained within the library. Said something was a relic, stolen from my family in days that have faded into legend. The Claw of Baharek.
Okay.
Severed from the arm of what beings would call a greater demon. Kept as a trophy by my family for centuries.
Good for you.
Torn by the grasping hands of fools. My forebear, Tiberani Forgrain, The poison man said to 5 would-be kings had watched the world for a decade. The cold mechanisms of his mind doing what they did best. Aligning a singular demonstration of the Revenger's art. His ship, Whispersmith, flew from orbit in the dead of night.
Yay.
He made landfall 10 miles from the city where the library stood. He and his cadre of 9 incubi walked those miles whilst his ship melted slaves shut down the external security of the city. It wasn't long before the alarms began their pointless cry. I have mentioned the Revenger's arts. Allow me to tell you that none possess the level of finesse for such work. None save my kin and I. We learn the hard way what is needed in this galaxy. Our erstwhile kin, the Eldar, call us monsters.
That's because you are.
They are also fools. Tabani spent 24 days killing the city that the library was a part of. 24 days of finesse of blood. 24 days of perfection.
There's a lot of things I'd call the Dark Eldar. Perfect is not one of them. But how come every single time the most debased people are calling themselves perfect?
Just as the painter is defined by her great works, so is the murderer. You don't like that word, do you? Murderer. It conjures images of innocence and noble heroes caught in gold standing against the dark. Pathetic. If you believe that you are not a murderer, let me ask you this. How many souls have been killed so that you can sit there and judge my kin and I?
This is, even though it's coming from a Drakari who have legitimately zero right to ask questions of anyone, this is single-handedly the best quote that I have seen in a Warrior Tier video. Because anybody that says any other group is terrible, now the Drakari are obviously if there's any singularly, like the evils, they are it. But the Imperium is literally bathed itself in blood when it was born, and has continued to do so throughout.
How many innocent bones do you stand atop? Are you truly willing to sit here and tell me that you are a saint? A saint alone in a galaxy of the guilty?
True.
You poor, diluted bag of meat. My namesake would have loved to meet you.
I don't want to.
In my family, there's a saying when planning extreme violence.
So, every day before you walk out of the door?
Line the streets. It means nothing to those who do not know our history. But that Imperial world I mentioned. When the scouting parties of humans appeared on the borders of that city to investigate the silence of their radios. Well, they found the streets lined with the crucified bodies of the city's populace.
Yep.
Terrible, isn't it? Trust is simple. The people in that city were destined for nothing other than a violent death. They would have starved to death, died of dehydration, or just simply have died in the front line of a battle that would never mattered. Instead, their pointless lives were turned into meaningful deaths.
Yeah, whatever.
If there's beauty in life, which we all know there is, then there is more art in death. Well, in murder to be precise. A fool will kill his enemy and leave it there. He will exact revenge, or justice, or desire and leave his foe deceased. This is a waste. Many times great-grandfather taught us all a lesson. If your enemies desire the energy of killing them, at least make their death worth the effort.
One of the greatest things about Warrior Tier, one of the greatest things, is they can actually make you see and speak from the perspective of the faction that they're currently going through. The video that they made about Nurgle wasn't terrifying because they tried to, make it out to be this big bad thing. They spoke to them from the perspective of a person that's actually in the service of Nurgle. Their world perspective. They're doing it here again, and it's amazing.
Oh, he certainly did that. It took him 4 days to make the chord ensemble. Humans have a very particular series of vocal cords.
Oh no!
Which evolved in a very particular way. When a human throat is cut, and certain oils are applied to the said cords.
Why?
One can make them an instrument.
Really?
So perfect that it beggars belief. The chord ensemble was made from the city's ruling patriarch and his various concubines. You see, in life they were just rotting, sweating, greedy piles of fat. But in death, they became something else. Something unique. Something pure. And something truly beautiful.
Press X to doubt.
They would have lived to the age of 200, doing nothing but mating, like wild porcine beasts. Instead, they were made into art. They were displayed and made whole. Of course, they were also taught a lesson. Don't steal from us. And if
Oh my god. There are dumb things to do in 40k. There are very, very stupid things to do. Stealing from the Jakari is in the top 3 of that list, and I'm not even kidding. Oh my god.
if you do, make damn sure we never find you. My great-grandfather played a song, the Lament of the Thief, on the vocal cords of the ruling family. The original vid recordings are held in perpetuity in several thousand libraries. Said recordings are used for all sorts of educational purposes.
I
If
have
you
no
are
doubt.
paying attention, you'll remember that only 10 of my kin went into the city. Because there were 10 members of the Black Star Orchestra. My forebear and his incubi. Beautiful, isn't it?
No.
Be honest here.
No.
Put aside your feigned morality. Forget your enforced laws and ask yourself why you impose limits on your imagination.
I'd rather not.
When you break free of that, you'll realize that there's far more than you can imagine. You may not be the deft revenger that I am. You certainly won't be the conductor of blood that my great-grandfather was. But you might be capable of something good. Trust me,
No.
in everyone, there is a single great work. A painting, a piece of music, a blade perhaps. A painter is only as good as their tools.
This is getting disturbing.
And there's not a single more honest thing in the galaxy than steel. If you could sing, if you have the ears to listen, and oh my, It can make others sing too.
No, I'd rather not.
That whole city learned to sing
No.
thanks to the blades of my ancestor.
Oh my god.
And that song was not quickly forgotten. One of the bodies of the concubines is still on display somewhere on Kimura, cords and all. I intend one day to find it and play the thief's lament once more on the instrument it was written for. My ancestor left that city as the sun rose. He left the streets silent, witnessed only by sightless, flayed corpses. As the sun rose, the light shone down on the main street of the city, and as the morning breeze blew, it whistled through 1,000 precisely positioned corpses, who, in death, sang together the thief's lament. Got the claw back.
Congratulations.
The humans even placed it in a slightly better void-shielded containment unit. How kind. How terrible. How barbaric. All those innocent lives cut short. Murdered. Flayed and displayed like hunting trophies. The poor darlings. You're as naive as the Eldar, believing that all life deserves a chance.
No, I don't think Tau lives deserve a chance, but that's just me.
That there can never be peace. But you'll never, ever hear a Farseer admit that it was her ilk that copulated so vigorously and for so long that they birthed a being beyond their kin. A being who went on to twist our race. A being who demanded the songs of self-sacrifice as payment for life.
That was actually you? You got a twisted sense of who did what here.
I admit, most of my kind are Slaneshi whores.
Yes,
Who
you
are
are.
good for nothing beyond pleasure and pride. But do not think us all alike. Assuming you know your enemy is the fastest way to destruction. As is not knowing your enemy. My kind learned that young. Do not think we can all be distracted on drugs and shining lights. Some of us are far worse.
Yes, we know
Some
this.
of us earn our scars and murder pits as children. We break bones to hear the crack and drink the blood from removed hearts while they still beat. But we know the truth. Life is cheap in our universe. The universe does not care for us, and skin is nothing but dust waiting to be remade. We are capable of living that truth. If you can be strong enough. My kind have enslaved millions, and we will continue to do so without apology or pause. Why?
Millions try
Because
billions.
some of us are made to reign, and some are made to serve. The weak are conquered and subjugated, as it is nature's decree. And tell me this, is the viper evil for consuming eggs from a nest? Or is it merely an artist painting the portraits that it was made to paint? Do not think you can judge us until you've seen how the universe wished to treat us. And don't think we don't know the quickest way to your bedside.
That's creepy.
We were cast into the dark by our righteous Eldari kin. And they
No,
left us there.
you were not.
They did not expect us to don the crown of the aristocracy. Just as the other lower life forms do not realize that their hides are the canvas on which we paint, For blood is paint, and the galaxy will bleed.
Oh. Oh my god.
Stand it up.
Alright, so let's talk. What is that button there? What does it do? I don't even know. Okay. One of the things that's best about Warrior Tier is their ability to step inside of the mind. It also shows the flaws in the thinking. Basically, the Drakari, they believe themselves as the absolute. They believe they're morally right in what they're doing. They believe they have the right way about things. They know they're screwed up, but they have the kind of attitude that you'd expect from people. They're justifying their own. They justify their own actions. At no point did the Eldari force the Drakari out. At no point did that happen. The worst elements of Eldar society before the fall went to Kamara inside the Webway. The worst elements of Eldar society. The Craft World Eldar, on the other hand, they're pretty much the nomads. They left the core worlds of the Eldari Empire before the fall, seeing what was about to happen. The Drakari are doing nothing more or less than what they have done for millions of years, but now they do it out of necessity versus out of any kind of real sense of, need or obligation or desire. A lot of what the Drakari do is based off necessity, and the extra horror stuff they do is just because they are too far gone. Case in point, so the Imperium will declare war against the Xeno race and exterminate them. But when humanity goes and exterminates them, in most cases, they're not sitting there. They're doing it because it's so heavily ingrained in human society to wipe out the Xenos. Because look at the selection of creatures that they run into. And of course you had the Age of Strife, where in many cases Xeno empires rose up and just started dominating humanity and trying to wipe them out. The Drakari, on the other hand, they have a much different story. They were on the top. They were in the Eldari Empire. They were on the top for 60 million years. That's how long the Eldari Empire lasted. And for that time, they just continued to get worse and worse and worse. And it was the actions of the Drakari, the people that would eventually become the Drakari, and the people like in the Eldar like them, that eventually spawned Slaanesh. Not the Craft World Eldar. The Craft World Eldar were like, wait a minute, this is starting to get really, really extreme. The Drakari are doing everything they can to justify their actions. So that's why this quote here on the screen right now, how many innocent bones do you stand on top of? Like, hold on. It's the one right before this one. Hold on. It was right before this one. Hold on.
How many souls have been killed so that you can see?
Yeah. How many souls have been killed so you can sit there and judge my Ken and I? The state of 40K, the state of the galaxy, is almost entirely rest in the state of the galaxy. How screwed up it is. Rests entirely on the shoulders of the Eldar. It rests entirely on their shoulders. They were capable of literally anything. They were capable of pretty much everything. even when humanity took to the stars, humanity was in no shape or form ready to combat the Eldar at all. The Eldar were just that powerful. And they quite literally screwed it all away. And when they did, as it got worse and worse, the most decadent of them went into the webway to Kamarov. And when the fall of the Eldar happened, they became the Drukhari. So I don't want to... So the Drukhari, while they do have a point in these... they do have some points in what they said in the video, at the same time, it would not hold up to scrutiny. Basically, this Drukhari is sitting there saying, how dare you're judging us for what we've done, you're judging us for what we currently do. How many worlds have you done this and this and that too? But at the same time, the state of the 40K galaxy is the fault of the Eldar, and particularly the fault of the Drukhari that still exist, that were there at the fall itself. Because Slaanesh wouldn't exist without the Eldar. If the Eldar hadn't fallen, humanity might still be in its golden age. Might still be there. At no point did the Drukhari stop. No, at no point did the Eldar stop what they were doing and take a second to realize what they were doing to everyone else. It's self-indulgence at its finest. And this guy is sitting there, this Drukhari is saying, oh, you guys you've done this, you've done this. Like... It is like somebody who has killed literal, it's like a serial killer talking to somebody who stabbed someone in self-defense. Like, oh, look, you're just as bad as I... No. In no way, shape, or form is anyone as bad as the Drukhari. Just simply straight to the point. No one is as bad as them, but this is the justification that they use. I love this. I love when they do videos from the perspective of certain factions. I absolutely love it. Guys, this is the shirt. Warrior Tier. Much appreciated to them for sending me this. All their links are going to be in the description down below. If they let me know about this beforehand, just reach out to me, guys, and let me know if your store is open. If it is, I'll put the link in the description down below, and you guys can go down there and get yourself some stuff. All that aside, guys, I am done. I am out. This was just as disturbing as I thought it was going to be. I'll catch you next time. Hit the like and subscribe button if you have not already. Leave a comment down below. Check out the merch from Valk. I'll see you guys next time. A Drukhari trying to rationalize his actions. That is a whole nother thing.